Hey, what's going on, fight fans? Hey, this is Coach D, the Wild Man, coming at you again with another episode of One to Watch. Now, you know I do it One to Watch. I highlight all things that's going on in mixed martial arts, who's doing what with Gamma USA, Gamma Worldwide, who's representing the sport, and who's going to help us get into the Olympics. So I try to highlight everybody who's doing great things. All right, let's go ahead and get back into it. I'm going to do my first honorable mention for 2025. I'm going to talk about Kate Johnson. Now, those of you who know Kate Johnson, she just competed in Indonesia and she got a rough call with the ref, which ended up costing her the match. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Now, I met Kate Johnson for the first time when I went out there to hang out with James David Gray with Scorpion Fighting Systems. And to be honest, I didn't even know she was a fighter. I thought she was just working out to stay in shape and doing good things. And, when I finally spoke to her, she's very nice, very kind, very, very passive, from my taste, right? Very easygoing. She's kind of like, she'll go with the flow very easily, right? But what I could see is that she had a lot of talent. Her mechanics was on point, right? And I've seen her mix it up with some of the, the more talented fighters that I kind of know who they were by this point, like Zoe and all of them. She was hanging with them. She was hanging with all the big boys. She, like I said, she had real mechanics. She know how to make adjustments. She know how to, she had an IQ. She knew what she was doing when it comes to fighting, right? But I couldn't see past the kindness. She was just a sweetheart. I go, can she bang? I mean, will she really get mean? You know what I'm saying? But then again, I have to go, I'm seeing it with my old eyes. I'm seeing it with my, no nonsense approach to fighting. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a little bit of meanness in you. You got to have a little doggedness in you. And that's not always the case. Now that I'm seeing so many fighters come up and doing great things, which seems like not an ounce of meanness in her, right? So now that I saw her train, I knew what she could do. I knew she had real skills. When I found out that she was competing, she had matches coming up, I said, oh, good. So, I got to see a couple of clips of how we get down. I saw that she's winning matches. You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, she know how to win. She know how to fight, right? So, yeah, she's going to be just fine. So I kind of didn't think much about it. But when I found out she was competing in Indonesia, I said, okay, this is going to be kind of cool, right? Yeah, let me see how she does. Let me see how she mixes up. Now I get to really follow her with my lens instead of somebody else showing me. Now I get to see for myself. So in her match, watching her get down, her opponent, was a dog, was aggressive, was getting off first, was tagging her a lot. I said, okay, she's getting rough into the stick here. But here's the beauty about fighting. What makes her stand out is her mechanics of fighting, right? Number one, it ain't over until it's over. Number two, it's a fight. The fight goes anywhere, right? Whether it stands up on the feet, where it goes to the ground. If you know how to fight, there's always many ways to win. It ain't about the knockout. And sometimes it ain't always about the submission. It's how you get to the point where something happens. And that's what Kate did. Kate weathered the storm, did what she got to do, knew what she was up against, and she weathered to the storm until she got in a position to where she could make something happen. And she was able to go to the mat and put on a Kimura, sunk in deep now, right? Where her opponent was not getting out. I was like, ooh, okay, that's what we need, right? She found a way to win. Or I take it back. She found a way to have the opportunity to win. And that's what a fighter at the end of the day does. A fighter who's going to win finds a way to win. It don't have to be about genetic skills, be the biggest, fastest, be the strongest, right? Take what skills you got and make it work for you to come out on top. That's what fighting really is. My eyes seeing, hey, I want aggression, I want a beast, I want a monster. Yeah, of course I do. But I also want you to win too. So if you win, I'm still good, right? And she had a chance to win her match, right? Had the Kimura sunk in deep. There was nothing her opponent could do, right? She could have easily have dislocated her opponent's shoulder. She could have easily rinsed it out of the like she could have done a whole bunch of stuff, right, to end that fight quickly. Once she had it sunk in deep, it was nothing her opponent could do about it, right? My take, she's probably going to just ease, put a little more pressure until her opponent eventually, tapped. which is what I would have done. I go, I'm gonna break your crap, but I'm gonna let you know you ain't getting out of it, and the only thing you can do is tap. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put it on enough before the buzzer goes, right? But before that can happen, the ref stops it, right? Waves it off. Once a ref waves off the match is technically over. It's a wrap. The fight's over. So whoever he waved it off for, the person is the winner. They stood it up. Judges got involved, right? Corrected him about what he did, right? And then they had to make the adjustments where they stood the fight back up, and they had to fight on their feet, and Kate ended up losing, right? Because they couldn't put it back in the submission, right? They had to do it stand up. So technically, the ref cost Kate the match, right? By making the wrong decision. So now we don't know how good Kate truly is. I know how good she is, but everybody's watching doesn't know because the fight didn't go to its conclusion, and that was the end of her run to go for a medal. So hard part about the sport, sometimes you don't have to lose to lose. She didn't lose that match. She looked like she was losing that match, but she wasn't losing because she put herself in a position to win, and the ref prevented that from happening. So Kate gets an honorable mention because of that, because I call Kate the tree hugger that fights. She's a sweetheart, but she knows how to scrap. She knows how to scrap, and she figured out a way to win. It just couldn't happen under that situation with that ref. It is what it is, right? So she gets out of my mention. Follow what she's doing. I hope she decides to come back to come to Brazil, because we're heading to Brazil next. I want to see what she does, because like I said, hey, it sucks, but maybe she has another chance to prove to the world just how good she is, and I want to see it. So it is what it is. So this is Coach D doing what I'm doing, calling it like I see it. Let's get ready for what happens next. We're going to Brazil in June, right? The team is starting to grow. I've seen some good looks. I've seen some good people doing some stuff, showing interest. We may have the mega team that we've been waiting on. We're about to find out. If you hear from me again, peace out.